Hello and welcome back to Inside Out. Today's guest is the beautiful Ebony, who is a wonderful friend of mine. She is also a woman who has flipped her entire life on its head in the boldest way possible. After ending a relationship that looked perfect on paper, she chose to back herself completely and follow the pull of something more. She's walked away from comfort, from predictability, and threw herself headfirst into business, becoming the co-owner of a gym with her best friend. This is a story about self-trust, reinvention, and what happens when you stop settling and start backing your own damn intuition. Welcome to the pod.
Whoa. I just was like crying. Hearing that. That's so nice. Thank you. I didn't know that that's how you saw me, but thank you.
Well, that is exactly how I see you.
Oh my God, that's so nice. Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm excited to dive in today. Like I said to you when I first voice noted you, how easy I feel like we'll flow and how much I feel like people will take from this conversation. Because whilst you and I are of a similar age, we have very different lifestyles.
Oh, so different.
So different in the best way possible. Yeah. And I love your energy and I love being around you. Like I've said this to you before. I think I said it at my event when you guys came. I'm like, oh, these are just my friends. I kept ducking out the back to just hang out with you guys.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah, it was so fun actually. So yeah, I'm excited to have you on the pod. Welcome.
I'm excited to be here. I've never been on this end.
Yeah, and as a guest. So yeah.
I actually, you know what? When you were saying that, like flipping life on its head and whatever, I was like, far out to think like, 18 months ago, if someone was to say to me like, you're going to be on a podcast and you're going to be interviewed, I'd be like, what the fuck they want to know? Because my life is so boring.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. I honestly was thinking that on the way here. I was like, whoa, like I always have these moments of like, fuck, my life's changed a lot in like the last 18 months, but to think like, someone wants to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I loved learning about you. I think I first knew of your existence as a human is when you and Sequoia were traveling overseas. And I think I followed Sec. I don't think we might have been working together, like just with nutrition stuff online. And that was whenever that was, 12 months ago, was it?
Yeah. This time last year we were there.
Sort of popped up, and that's when I sort of learned who you were. Yeah. And you were in the gym a bit, and I was like, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Yeah, I was the girl when we were in Europe that was like every single day I would wake up severely hungover and be like, I'm fucking going home. Like I can't keep doing this. Honestly, like I love to party, but only that night. The next day I'm like, I will never fucking do that again. And then
I need to heal
every afternoon. Or I'd be like just wanting to die pretty much, and then like just so hungover, and then I'd end up on a table like that night. And it was like Sequoia's story was always like Ebony this morning, and it was like me just like deathly hungover, and it was like Ebony right now. It's like
I fucking love that. That's so fun.
Yeah.
So take us back a little bit in time, and actually when you were in Europe, you had a partner. Yes, is that correct?
I have a new partner now.
Yes, and was that
I had left? Yeah, so I was with Matt then. Early days of our relationship. Yeah, but I had just left my partner before that.
Partner. Yeah, cool. So what was the moment that you realized you're in a long-term relationship? Yes, you've had the house, you had the promises for the future, like all the things, the commitment, all the things set up, right? Yeah. What do you feel like was the moment you realized that you were no longer available for the fine component in the relationship?
So I was with my ex-partner for just shy of 6 years. We had a beautiful home that we just finished renovating in a really nice area. We had a really great group of friends. He's a really beautiful person, really funny, really great to be around. He worked for the government. I also at the time worked for the government. It was like you said, life wasn't bad by any means. Like I had really great friends. I still have really great friends, but I had really great friends, really good people around me, but I just was like deathly bored. So deathly bored. And I really thought like when I thought about my life, like from my younger self, like say like in my early 20s, like I never knew what the fuck I was going to do. But I always just thought that I was destined for something. And it wasn't living in the suburbs, working for the government, in a relationship that, my ex-partner was really, really into the gym. I was as well. We would just go to the gym every afternoon, come home, eat the same fucking turkey mince, sweet potato, and he'd have his steak for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Yeah. Like it was very, very mundane. Yeah. And like I could go to the grocery store and have fun with this person, like with my ex-partner. He was just so fucking fun. I'm just going to say his name, Brian, because it just makes it easier. I'm like, this person. I could go anywhere and have like the best time with him and, but there was just something missing. I just felt like so dull and so bored, and I would be driving. And I remember like, this is like probably only 3 years into the relationship. I used to have to drive a lot because I was commuting from the Central Coast to Newcastle. Yep. So I'd drive for work. But I remember like being in the car one day and just thinking like, is this my fucking life? And it wasn't, and then I was like, get the fuck over it. Like, you've got a partner that, you know, I previously to Ryan, I was with another guy who was a fucking gronk. Like, abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, would cheat on me all the time, was so fucking awful to me, would call me a fat, ugly slut. And I'd be like, no, I'm fucking not. Like, he never, you know what? He would try and really be really nasty and really hurt my feelings, but he really couldn't get to my feelings. So that's when I had to become violent because he couldn't get to me any other way. So, like, he really was so nasty. And I met Ryan very, very soon after that. And he really helped me to heal and to overcome that relationship and to learn what trust was. So I knew prior to this, like, what dead shits are around because I dated fuckwits. My dad was a fuckwit. My dad's really bad domestic violence as well. So I was so exposed to it and I just knew men were shit. Sorry to the men out there. But my experience with men was that men were really fucking shit.
Yeah.
So when I was with Ryan, I was like, I know there's not many good men around and, like, get over it because you've got this good man and, you know, your life's good, your house is beautiful, you've got, you know, what from the outside looks great. But, yeah, I just really was so fucking bored. I was so bored.
Firstly, on like the abusive side of things and what you went through with domestic violence, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, that's
it's okay. Honestly,
it's not.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's not.
Okay. And I think as women, we all have previous moments in time or seasons or chapters where, especially in our 20s or our teenage years, where we had really bad experiences. And they happened for us, not to us, essentially, and we can see that now. But when you're in it, and for anyone that could potentially be listening, that could be in that experience, it's like when you're in it, you can't see the end of the tunnel, and I get that. But there is, and there's life on the other side. You've just got to love yourself enough to, like, push through it, essentially.
For sure. I think I don't know, when I was with this abusive guy, the reason I left is because he was a fucking drug addict. So, like, it wasn't even like, it's because he was always on a bender and leaving me at home, and I would be at home and I'd be uncomfortable at home because there was, like, shit going on with people outside of that. Like, it was just so stressful. So that's why I left, because I was sick of him going on. But it wasn't him cheating on me with multiple women. I'd find blonde hair in my fucking black towels. I'm like, I have black hair for anyone that's listening. I was like, you know, that wasn't like, I was like, that wasn't it. I found clothes in his car. His ex-girlfriend would write in my fucking journal when she was at my house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, like.
Can we just take like a moment for the ex-girlfriend and the fucking confidence?
Seriously. But you know what? I met him when he was with her.
Oh, okay.
So they would go back and forth. He was a real piece of shit, obviously. So they would go back and forth. They'd be together, then we'd be together, then he'd be my boyfriend, then I'd have some other random girl that was saying, like, my boyfriend. I'm like, bitch, I live with him. This is my boyfriend. You're the side chick. Like, can we get that clear? Like,
This is my house.
Yeah, he had multiple girlfriends. Okay. Like, you know, he was just, but that didn't do it either. Like, you know, I caught him so many times. It was literally like, I don't know where my self-worth was in that, because I still loved myself so much. And when he would call me fat and ugly and this and that, I was like, no, I'm not. Like, fuck off, shut up. Yeah. But, like, I just put up with it because I just thought, like, this is what men do. Like, that was my experience. You know, my dad was also a cheater. Like, you know, he was very much, I was dating my dad pretty much.
Was dad ever, like, spoke poorly to you as well? Is that
no,
kind of
my
like
dad
put up?
No, my dad actually, I was kind of protected. He was quite, like, aggressive to my older brother, but I was quite protected in the sense that, like, he didn't really, I only saw him every second weekend. So on those weekends, he'd have, like, you know, fights with his girlfriends that would be really, really chaotic. They'd be smashing stuff in the middle of the night, and then, or he'd have, like, 15 people over on a bender, because he was a massive drug user, on a bender out the front of my bedroom, and I'd come out crying, and I was like 12, and then he'd say, I'll buy you a bike, and I'd be like, okay, all's forgiven. I've got a new bike.
New bike
so like, you know, and that was what I think the pattern was in my next my relationship, my first real serious adult relationship, was like something would happen, then I'd get a gift. So it just felt really familiar, but I'd heard my dad speak like that about women and to women. So it wasn't that he did, because to me, I was his daughter, and he did. My dad does love me. I haven't seen him in 15 years, but I know that my dad did love me, but he just didn't have the capacity or the skills to actually be a good dad, because he was also fucked up from his family.
Yeah, 100%. And I can say that it resonates so much for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen my dad since Lola was born, so she's just turned 5.
Yeah.
And prior to that, we had like massive gaps in time together, and I call it an every second weekend dad, and this is what I feel like has played out for a lot of women of our age, because the era was when you got a divorce, the dad went and fucking provided with his child support at the minimum, minimum that he could, but he had you every second weekend. There was no more, no less. That's just what they did.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not for everyone, and I'm so happy that other people had great experiences with their parents getting divorced. But for me and anyone I know in our age group,
it was
the same fucking
weekend.
story. Yeah. It's the every second weekend dad, and the absence that left as a child.
Oh yeah,
and the
for 12 days of the fortnight.
100%. Your mum was just barely surviving. So mum's problems were also projected on, but she's just fucking surviving with the kids, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely can appreciate what
you're coming from. It's funny.
My dad wasn't an alco or a drug user. He was just such fucking hard work. Like he was so draining to be. It was an energetic exchange, and that's what cut it for me. And it didn't make sense to anyone.
Yeah,
because they're like, he's not a bad man. He's your father.
Yeah,
and
like,
I don't enjoy this person. I love him. I know he loved me to the best of his abilities.
Yeah,
but setting boundaries and changing the narrative of what family looks like is such a hard thing to do. And like for me and you, have both gone and done it.
Yeah,
I think it's so hard to sit back and say, it's been 15 years since I've had a relationship with this man and I love him, and you should be proud of yourself that you're at that stage in your life.
Yeah, I think I was actually only talking about it the other day. I don't really hold a lot of resentment in my heart towards anyone because I just don't think it serves me at all if I'm, upset with someone. But my dad, I think I was like 16 because he wasn't paying my school fees and he hadn't paid something to do with my braces, getting my braces off. And I was like, you know what, I'm fucking sick of this. And his business went into liquidation, and he said to my mum, why didn't you tell the kids this, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's not my job. That's your business. We've separated. And then I said, well, you can pay for drugs and smokes and alcohol, and then you can't. Yeah. And I was obviously really young, and he said, that's coming from your mother. And I was like, well, if my mum knew what you're actually doing here, I wouldn't be allowed at your fucking house, mate. So yeah, no, it's not. I protected you, and I didn't tell a soul because I didn't want my dad to get in trouble because, there was really fucked up things going on, and I didn't want anyone to know about it. So I feel like this conversation's gone down a completely different. Yeah, I'm like, let's talk about my perfect relationship, and now we're like here.
That's fine. We'll get back in a minute, but continue.
But so I think that. Yeah, when I was with that that guy I won't mention, I call him Gregory on my other podcast, so let's call him Gregory.
Gregory, great, yep.
So
terrible name.
Yeah, well, it's not his real name.
No,
so
I know,
we'll do that for well, I want to give him a shit name because he's a shit fucking person.
Yeah,
so you can be Gregory because it's a foul name. Yeah,
I like Gregory for him.
So he was really abusive. Then I met Ryan. Ryan really helped heal me. I went through court with Ryan, so he helped me have the courage and the strength to charge this person. They got charged for some pretty serious assaults, I guess. Assaults. So pretty serious crimes. And then he ended up not going to jail, which was like so crazy. And at that point I worked within the justice system. So I was like, how can this man strangle me and tell me he's going to kill me and get charged for intimidation for saying he's going to kill me, strangling me and like breaking my arm, and then it's like, and they said because it happened 3 years ago, that's why he didn't go into jail, which like I actually felt really guilty about going to court, and I was really scared for him to go to jail because I was like, I'm ruining someone's life.
Of course, it's because we're made to believe how wrong that is.
Yeah,
we're enforced to be like, don't ever do that to a man because you could, it's just a mistake. It's all this. Yeah. And look, I'm a big believer in people are not their behaviour, and people are also doing the best with the tools and resources that they have in that at that time.
Definitely.
If this is a window of opportunity for him, go to prison, be a better man.
Yeah,
change your life. This is your fucking rock bottom. Go and do that, and then cool, I can have an opinion about you that's changed.
For sure.
Like that's my belief around big things like that. Like you need to go deep in the work.
Yeah.
Like I spoke earlier when I was doing a course, and I won't say specifically what one of the processes at the start of it was for everyone in the room to share the deepest, darkest secrets vulnerably. So everyone had an accountability to each other about what stays, like everything had to stay in the room, right? And so there were some really horrific things that were being said, and they were triggering for a lot of women in that room.
For sure.
And to hear that, and then seeing these men who have done careers of in and out of jail or being in the bikies or doing whatever they did, being brutally honest, and then going through 3 weeks of the training that we were doing. Some of them were doing it for the skill set, and some were doing it for personal development and to change their life. Yeah. So there's 2 ways you can go into the course that I did. I went into it to support me with my skill set for my business. Anyway, and I watched these men transform into the most humanized, like their highest self. Like they came out the other side with all of their hair cut off, like dressing like businessmen, like changing not just their physical, but on the inside, going through and writing letters and apologizing to everyone in their life, like doing this big, deep work. Like I'm talking 16-hour days for 3 weeks. I'm not talking like a little course,
that'd be
a couple of days.
Training. I'm just thinking about like talking about the most horrific thing that's happened and like I guess it'd be a weight lift, but the drainage, like
And
that
like
would be
people
so
pointing the finger at you.
exhausting. Yeah.
And like these men getting the anger out of their bodies and finding
Yeah.
them safe to be little boys again.
Yeah.
Like that's a big piece in this is learned behavior, right?
Oh, of course.
And
everything
this is going so far from where we
I know, isn't it? Seriously.
We have a lot to talk about.
I know,
but
we could be here all day.
Anyway, yeah, I just think that I love that. Is it Ryan that healed you?
Yeah,
And then
he
you
really
were like,
helped me.
Fuck it, I'm going to flip the script. And that is what I think more women need permission to do. It's like, flip the fucking script. If you're not feeling satisfied, success in your relationship, like it's moving the needle, like you're growing together, like you're going through this evolution of like, I'm going to keep going up. Like, and women, we crave that deeply. We want to keep moving forward.
Of course.
And if you're just like, oh, I've eaten the same meal for 7 days. Holy fuck, I've driven the same road for 7 days. I'm dying. Like, it's actually okay to leave.
For sure. And I think my point in that was that I think I've gone the long way around to get to this point, but I really think that Ryan came into my life for a purpose, and that was to help me heal, and that was to teach me, what it means to be treated right. He set a really high standard for my next relationship, which my partner now goes well above and exceeds that because he's honestly the best man to work with.
He seems beautiful. You speak
earth.
about him really highly.
Oh my God. I cannot say a bad thing about that man. Honestly, I don't think anyone really could, because he is a man of his word and he has very strong high values and high morals, and I'm just so fucking lucky. Yeah. So lucky. But I really think, Ryan, I speak just as highly of. He's a great man, and he really helped heal me. So I think he set a really high standard. And I did say that to him like after we'd broken up, that he set a really that high standard that I know how I deserve to be treated now. He really helped heal me, and I'm so grateful for him. We still have, we don't talk often, but like we had to speak it was a couple of months ago now, but still on the phone for 45 minutes. Like, have a really, all I want for him is to be happy, to be in love, and to be loved.
That's so nice. I love that so much. Yeah. I think you've met my husband. He sets such a high standard, for me with any friendship, anyone that comes into my life, because of the things he just goes above and beyond. I had something happen recently, which I won't go into because it's still a thing I'm working through. But it was quite traumatizing.
Oh, babe.
And it triggered a lot of past things around assault. And I have a fear, well, not a fear now, but I was quite anxious to walk the dog, which my dog's a weapon. No one's coming near me with my dog. I'm so confident. But walking, I didn't want to have those feelings come up on a morning walk at 4 a.m., 4:30 because I have to walk her so early. And people,
you feel very vulnerable at that
I
time.
feel vulnerable. I've always, up until this point, this thing that happened recently, I'm like, my dog will fucking murder you. I have literally said on a morning walk, like a crazy person, my dog is with me. You're going to fucking die. I suggest you get up and run, because I felt like someone was there. You know, the energy that you just
you can feel someone there.
Someone hiding. I know you're there robbing a car or doing your thing. Yeah. Don't come at me, because my dog will kill you.
Right? And that's your fault.
I can't imagine you say that with your dog.
Oh, my little Labradoodle mini. She's like, I'll kill you.
It's a bit ferocious, and she's very quick with that stuff. But anyway, off topic again. And so I got home the other day, and he's like, hey, bought your treadmill. I'm like,
oh, so nice.
What? And he goes, you're worried about walking in the morning, and I don't want you to feel that way. And if you can't go to the gym, you should be able to still get your walk in, get your steps in. I know they're important to you.
I know those steps are important, girl.
Yeah, they are. They are very important. And now I'm just like, fuck, now I have actually no excuse.
Literally none.
It's raining. Oh, that's such a
there's a shark on my fucking treadmill now, so I have to do it.
It's freaking massive though. It's like literally I have to step up.
Is it loud?
Nah.
Oh, I remember my mum every morning at 5 a.m. would be on the treadmill when I was little, and it's like, and she'd be in her undies. She'd have a singlet on with a sports bra under it. She'd have weights in her hand and weights on her ankles, and she'd be walking. And I'm like, I could just hear the treadmill. That's honestly, it's so funny, isn't it?
Brilliant. Love
Seriously, mine's in the early 2000s.
My treadmill is, it's so funny, but it's got Netflix and Prime TV on it and stuff.
He's really gone all out on the treadmill.
And I was like,
he's like, we're not getting a walking pad. We're getting you a fucking surround sound.
The kids can use it. We'll get as much use out of it as we can. It's actually ridiculous. But anyway, so that's really cute. But what I would love to know around your transition from that relationship is, how did you know that it wasn't impulse? And so for a lot of women, I feel like they might make a lot of changes in their career or their business ideas or whatever, and then they're like, fuck,
what have I done?
What am I doing? And they have that constant flow of I'm always chipping and changing and never finishing something. Is that what I'm doing now with the relationship? Am I just running away from my shit? How did you know it was an intuitive compass pull forward?
I wish I had an answer.
Okay.
I honestly wish I did, for anyone that's thinking about it, but I thought about it for a really long time. I had a conversation with someone, and that really changed things because of the way that I was feeling during that conversation. I'm not going to go too far into it.
Got it. Yeah.
But I just thought, I need to do this. Like, I just can't keep thinking. I never really cared about I've never been single. So I've never, ever been single. And I used to think, like, I wonder what it would be like, not to just go out and fuck everyone, but just to, like, be single and to enjoy, like, not having to think about anyone other than myself, because I've never really had that. So that was always on my mind. And I had that, but I met Matt 4 weeks after Ryan. So then I tried to push that poor man. I really put him through it. I really tried to push him away as much as I could, because I was like, I need this time for myself. I need to be single. I need to experience life on my own and know what that's like. But then I also just realized it's not that I don't want to be in a relationship, because I love having someone to share my life with. I love that connection, and I'm such a, like, affectionate and loving and, like, love to be around people. But it just – I wish I had, like, a really definitive answer to be like, oh, this is how I knew it was the right thing to do. But I made the decision. I didn't look back. Ryan also was really respectful of my boundaries, which made it great. He didn't beg me to stay. He didn't, we had that conversation. It was on a Tuesday morning. I left. I don't know, was it Tuesday morning or afternoon? Don't know, I can't remember.
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. I don't know that. Yeah. And he respected my boundaries. He didn't beg me to stay. He didn't say, I'll change this or I'll do that or I'll do this or I'll do that. Like, he just said, if you aren't happy in this relationship, I'm not going to beg or force or, plead with you to stay. If you've made that decision, that's,
I think a part of him was like, same, but I'll let you be the driver.
I think he said to me once, I knew it wasn't great, but I didn't think it was bad enough for us to break up. Okay. And I thought that we just loved each other so much that we would stay together, and that this, I never really pictured my life without him, to be honest, when I was with him. Yeah. But I also would think about, like, all right, I'm going to be doing this in 10 years. How will I feel in 10 years of this? And it's like, it wasn't even bad, but it was just like, I am going to be fucking so bored. I'm going to be one of those housewives that's like blind fucking drunk on a Thursday afternoon, like, and I'm not even a big drinker, but I'm like, I'll have to be doing something to get some fucking excitement in my life.
It's the dopamine.
Yeah, right? Of just something. Yeah. And I also had that fear after that. And I remember, like, speaking to, like, so many people in my life, and I spoke to one of my girlfriends, Tegan, who's, like, just the person that I go to when I need, like, rational, wise thinking.
We all have those people.
Yeah, and she's my go-to. And I spoke to her and I said, like, I'm really worried that I'm never going to be like, because I was there I was with him for 6 years, and then I was like, oh, no, like, this isn't what I want now. I need to leave. It wasn't an overnight thing, but, and then I left. But I was really worried that every relationship that I'm like, what happens if I get to 6 years in the next one? And then I'm like, all right, well, now I'm fucking bored again. I need to move on.
They say we go through, like, a spiritual sort of, like, energetic change of identity every 7 years. It's a 7-year mark. So for a lot of relationships, if you're on that 7 year, you either you can either choose to do it together, but if they're choosing to stay where they are, the other person's like, whoa, I'm going somewhere now. Yeah. Like, are you coming or not? Yeah. And that's where a lot of relationships change.
That is kind of where Ryan and I were at. Like, we'd built the house. I kind of wanted to move on to, like, sell it or to buy an investment property or do something, or just, like, I want to, and, like, I want to be wealthy. I don't want to be, like, having just a $100,000 income each and, like, that be our life. Like, I wanted more from everything, and I just knew that wasn't going to happen, because, like, and that's okay if you're happy with that and you're content with that and that's enough for you. That is perfect. But it just wasn't where I was at. But I know with my relationship now, and I don't have that fear in my relationship now that will happen, because Matt is, like, always, like, he always has something that he's working towards. He's always talking about our future and where we're going, and, like, we're about to build a couple of houses, and, like, we're already really on our way to doing what we want, and we've got our 5-year goals and we talk about it, whereas, like, previously that's been a bit of an overwhelming conversation in other relationships. So I just
my husband's exactly the same. And there's so much going on and so many different projects, and, like, he's amazing with how he can manage everything. Personally, I feel like at the moment I'm a little bit in overwhelm. I'm like, I collected too many projects.
Yeah.
Calm down. Just
Yeah,
take a
for
breath.
sure.
You're still a mum. Like,
Yeah,
relax.
for sure.
But in the same sentence, I love that so much. I love being challenged. I love being called forward. I love being pulled out of my comfort zone because it gets me exactly where I need to be. And I have so much evidence of that. And if I had a partner that was just like, oh, we'll just build a house and we're going to stay here and that'll be that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't, Newcastle's not the end place for me. It's never been. It was never meant to be. I'm here because my stepdaughters are here and that will remain the same until later in life when they're ready. Or if they want to come and they're young adults, cool, let's go. I don't know where we're going. Will it be Monaco? Will it be the Gold Coast? I don't fucking know.
You know, where we're at. Yeah, one's a quick little flight, one's a little bit further. That's the same. I know, look, I'm going to buy a farm and I'm going to live on my farm. I'm going to raise my children on a farm. I'm going to live off the land. And honestly, they're going to have no fucking social media. They're going to be in the dirt.
Love it. I'm here for that. Like I'm going through those conversations at the moment. Like the girls being like, why can't Jessie get a phone before in like primary school year 5? Like surely. I'm like, absolutely fucking not. Year 7 you will have a phone. And they're like, we did. I'm like, that wasn't me, honeybee. That wasn't my call.
This is different.
And I have full control of this and I've seen what they do. Socially, emotionally, energetically. Like I can see what these screens are doing to you. And whilst I want the best for you, I also don't have full control of that because I share and that's cool. But if it's my way or like Steve's like, you know, keep the kids in technology. Like he doesn't have a full 100% opinion on it like I do, but I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
Once, no, not a chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from my life. Let's talk about the business. Let's talk about Club 94, which you are co-owner of now.
Yep.
Tell me about the first conversation you and Sequoia had. Sequoia is the other owner for anyone that doesn't know.
So Sec had the PT Centre, it was called originally, with her ex-partner for quite a few years. It was the two of them. She ran the show. He just was fucking doing whatever he fucking does. And honestly, she just ran that whole thing. And then they separated and then it was like Sec and I so we've known each other for 10 years, maybe longer. And we've always been friends, but never to like the point of where we are now. We've really, really connected in the last like 2 years.
Love that.
After like, I was training at the PT Centre as well, so I'd see her all the time and, like, we started to really, really get closer. And then she, like, I remember I was, like, doing a warm-up and she came over to me and she's like, life update, I've just broken up with her partner at the time and I'm moving to Sydney tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, fucking Jesus, all right.
Life update.
Yeah, and then, like, a couple of months later, I think that was in, like, maybe September, and then in February, I was like, I called her and anyone that I told that me and Ryan had broken up, everyone thought like I'd be like, hey, I just have something I need to tell you. And they were like, you're pregnant. Like, yeah. Or you're engaged. That's what everyone thought was coming. Because that's what everyone around us was doing as well. And I wasn't ready for that, which was another reason why I fucking wasn't doing it. Yeah. But, you know, I was like, oh, well, I've just broken up with Ryan. Like everyone was like, what the fuck? So then Sec and I really just were in our single girl era and like going out in Sydney every weekend. She was living in Sydney. I was down there every weekend. I was still working full time and was trying to manage like having a full-time job while being a full-time party girl as well. And we were really, really like having a great time. And then things with the business with the PT Centre were like a bit confusing because it was like this in between. And then Sec and I went to Europe this time last year. Lucky bitch, she's going on Monday again.
I know.
Fucking fire. It's like, don't you worry, I'll be here. But she's going to Europe on Monday. But yeah, so we went to Europe and then there was like a conversation, like pretty, like everyone was pretty fucked up. And it was like someone who was actually an employee at the time said, why don't you just close it? And like Sakura and I just like, because we were like, how are we going to get this person out of the business? Like, what are we going to do? It's like, just close it. We're like, whoa. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. How did we never fucking think of that? We talked about this 24/7. And then we kind of had like chatted about like me coming on board, but there was someone else that was working at the time that Sec thought might have wanted to, and she felt like she owed it to that person because she'd grown with the business herself, but she wasn't in a position at that time. And then Sequoia called me into the gym. She was like, oh, can you come into the gym? I need to have a meeting. And I was like, a meeting? Like, you're my best friend. Like, we're having a fucking meeting. What's really weird? So I come into the gym and she had like, she's very organized. And she had like a piece of paper with like all of this stuff written down on it. And she was like, okay, we, talking about this like vision that she had for this gym. And I was like, can you just give me one fucking second? When you're saying we, are you talking about me and you? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, Okay, sweet. And I was just, and I was like, thank you for not fucking sharing that at the beginning to be like, I really want you to come on board. This is what I'm thinking that we can do. But she just was like, wait. And I was like sitting there the whole time and I was like, are you talking about me? Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Of course she did.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot to let you know.
Yeah, I forgot to let you know that you're actually going to buy into this business.
Yes, the money is coming in here.
And this is what we're doing. Because I was about to sell my house as well. My house is on the market.
Got it.
So I was about to like make a bit of money off my house, and it was like, so it just kind of worked out at that time. I was working in an industry that I was not happy in as well. It's a whole fucking other story, to be honest. But yeah, it just really aligned at that time. And then I've come on board. I started, I think that conversation was like August last year.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
And then I started to like pop my head into the gym. So I'd like trained my whole life. I'd had my certs and I'd like, you know, I'd always been training, but like I just never really did anything with it. And then, I was like popping my head into the gym and people were starting to like see me around a little bit and get used to me.
Gym, guys, so yes, I was noticing and I was like, who's this girl? What do you
Who
do?
is this woman?
I like her.
Yeah. And I think like I have a very big energy. I know that I've like got a lot of fucking personality.
You and Secto bouncing around the gym is everything I need in my day.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you.
If you're and Christina, who was there, who's no longer there, unfortunately, sadly, because she was also one of the energetic people that would jump around and bounce around. And we've got a couple of cool trainers, like I say you, girls.
Yeah, but we, because
cool trainers on now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And they're, you'll find that like for me, I light up when I see it's your sec. That's just how I am. So like,
that is
cool.
so nice.
My friend's here and I like what they say and I care what they have to say and I listen when they talk.
So nice.
And I like that they're there and they dance around and they're silly and the music's pumping and you just the vibe changes straight fucking away.
Yeah,
straight away.
That's so nice.
I don't miss Christina's abuse, so that can fuck right off the curve. See ya. Like you can be mean, but you're at the perfect tolerable amount.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm glad. I'm trying to have a good balance.
To me, but don't make me like want to charge you for assault. Like that.
Seriously, don't make me call the cops.
Like, I told my shoulder, Christina, I cannot pick it back up. Just let me have it. Like that was the
give me
stuff.
a fucking minute here. Honestly, she's fucking a mental case. Unfortunately, she's gone, but fortunately for some people.
Conditioning day, no, but I love hard stuff. You know that I do.
Yeah.
What was it like stepping into a business that was already established? Like I know it went from the PT Centre and now it's Club 94, so that closed out and that door open essentially. Yeah. But stepping into an established business in terms of you had members that like say second or the staff already knew their names and what their lives were like and you were very new, fresh face coming in. It wasn't a well-known, like no one knew what you were doing there until like a little bit after. Like, I think you and I talked at the start and you're like, so I think I'm buying the gym or buying the gym or whatever because I was asking questions. I'm like, what are you doing?
Who the fuck are you?
I like you, but what are you doing?
Seriously. Well, sorry.
No, go. Yeah.
I was just saying, I was a member, so I knew what the PT Centre was about. I loved the training style. I think Sequoia is one of the best female trainers that there fucking is. She really knows her shit and she really cares. Coming into it, it was so exciting because it was like I have such a vision for it. And like I said, in my life before, I was so fucking bored and I was like, what am I going to – I was working in a job that I'd been in for like 6 years in the like criminal justice, like in that industry. And I was like, that was my skill set. I'd been doing it since I was like 23 or something and that was my skill set. And I was like, what else can I – it didn't feel like they were like – what is it, interchangeable? No, I don't fucking know. But that I could use them in anything else. I was like, what am I going to do with these weird skills? But I realized that really, really helped me to prepare me to become an owner of a business because there was definitely an adjustment period, not with members. I think with members, like I know that I make women feel comfortable. I love women. I care about them. I want to hear their stories. I want to learn who they are. And that is something – just people really in general, like I really, really love getting to know people and it's like quite a known thing that I'll have a conversation with someone and know everything about them because I am like quite the interrogator, but I don't I'm not doing it in a way of like nosy. I just am so interested. I just love to know where people come from and their story and who they are. I just find it so interesting. So that part of it was really smooth and I loved it and people, we were getting really great feedback. People were really happy with the new brand. They were happy with Sequoia and I. They were happy with like what was going on. But the challenge was coming into a business as a co-owner of something that I am investing my money into and not just a little bit of money. I've invested quite a lot of money into the business. Yeah. I had an expectation of, as an employee, I'd been an employee my entire life. Sequoia hadn't been. So Sequoia had always run a business. So as an employee, I knew what was expected of me because it was outlined to me, this is what your job is and this is what you come in and this is what you're paid to do. I think coming into the business, it was like there is, I don't know how, I'm trying to work out how to say it, but, you know, there was a different management style, which, you know, is fine. And I don't think that that Sequoia is not great at managing people by any means. I think she's amazing at everything that she does, but that was a skill set that I had, was having the difficult conversations. So that is what my job working with offenders really helped me to do, is to have really uncomfortable conversations that no one wants to fucking have, but they have to be had.
Yeah, rather than avoiding it and not getting
it. So I had kind of noticed, like, from stepping back and looking at what was going on, that there was people that were being paid to do things and they weren't actually doing their fucking job. And your job working in a gym is quite easy. Like, you know, we have a beautiful community. It's early mornings, which can be draining, and, you know, talking to people can be draining, but our community is beautiful. They're lovely girls. The gym's beautiful. Like, all you need to do is come and do your job with a smile on your face, leave your shit at the door because you're the professional at the end of the day, and, you know, do it to the best of your ability. Make sure you clean up and vacuum the floors. That's pretty much what it is. That's all.
Pretty much, and it sounds fun for me.
Oh yeah,
doing all of that kid free.
Yeah,
hey, man, what a morning.
Yeah, so
I've done all of that this morning.
Seriously, you've already done it, and you didn't get paid.
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, I could see that there was people that were used to doing the bare minimum, really, for lack of better words. But yeah, they were doing the bare minimum, getting paid the maximum. And I had conversations, and I kind of tightened the ship up a little bit and had those conversations, and people weren't
receiving it.
Yeah, and they weren't really used to it either. They were kind of used to just doing whatever the fuck that they wanted.
Well, I think you and I had a conversation, and I brought it to your attention around something, and someone at the time, I actually don't remember who it was, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I just remember the feeling I was like, I don't really like that, and I don't really like that they didn't check this, and I'm not there I don't need your attention, and I know how to fucking train, but when I'm lifting something that is more than my body weight, I need someone to watch my form.
Yeah, just in case.
Doing good or doing bad.
For sure.
And when no one's reminding me to have a spotter and stuff like that, I need reminders. I forget my fucking rope and my keys. I'm nuts with where I could lift a weight and I know what I'm doing, but in the same sentence, just remind me what else is expected in that regime,
definitely.
where if I'm fucking up. And that was something that had happened more than once. And I sort of brought it to your attention, like, hey, I'm not getting
concerned.
this vibe. And you're like, cool. Yes, I felt this, but now you've confirmed it.
And I was getting a bit of feedback from, like, because the thing is, and our members really trust us, and they also will just, they have big mouths. So if they're not happy with something, they're coming and they're telling us. And we've got people who, you know, we have really close relationships with, so they will tell us, like, this is what's going on, or this is what I've noticed, and I was noticing things as well. So once that was started to, once the, things were starting to tighten up a little bit, I think because there was people that had been employed for quite a while, it was a long time that they'd been employed for, they didn't really like that I'd come in and was like the bad guy, pretty much. I'd come in and I was never rude. I was never unprofessional, because if, I know I can have a professional conversation and say, this is what's expected of you, this is your job, you know, and there was a meeting and we said this is what the expectations are, and if after this moving forward the conversations will be individualized if I notice that things are coming up, but this is what it is. And then we had a few resignations.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Releasing what's not working in order to bring in what's needed.
For sure.
And seasons, ebbs and flows. The business looked like this, and now it's going to look like that over here. It can't carry this.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I think you've done it in a really great way that was obviously professional, but I can't imagine that was really provoking at the time for you as well.
It was really challenging because I love all of everyone. I love it. I don't have bad blood with anyone. I want to be friends with people. I'm not a people pleaser by any means. I know that about myself. I'm definitely not a people pleaser, but I love to connect with people. I love to have relationships. I love having new friends. I love meeting new people. So if I meet someone and I like them, I love them. And
I'm the same.
Yeah.
And I hate everyone. Yeah. No, I don't hate everyone. I shouldn't say that. No, not at all.
Yeah.
But once I know, and what you're saying before about how you care so much about people's lives and things, you really get that from you in the gym specifically.
Thank you.
Sec does it as well, which I love. But for me as a mum, if you've met my kids and you recite their name back to me, that's important. And if you've met them for fucking 12 months and you can't tell me my daughter's name, I'm not here for that. Fuck off. Like, I don't want to talk to you. It's not that hard. I know your dad's name. I know what happened. Like, I don't, but like, you know what I mean? You told me enough about you that I know. I recall your partner's name. I recall where you live. I recall the conversations that we have. And if that person can't recall mine, and for all my clients, I know all of their stories and all of their ex-partners' names, like all of their parents' names, even to the point like I will recite that information because it's important and I value it. And what that says to me when someone doesn't is they don't value me. And that's not for me. I would not be putting myself in that environment. Whereas you and sex specifically are fucking ridiculous with that. Like you just know shit and I love it.
I actually, and it comes from a place of actually just giving a fuck about the people around me. Like I genuinely really just like to meet people, like to know them, like to know their story. Like it's like, it's something that I really, it just naturally happens because I just love to talk to people and love to know their stories. But I think we're in a really great position now. We've got really, really amazing staff. Business is going really well. We definitely just had to let go of, some of the stuff that was going on, and that was a really, really difficult time. It was like the most, I don't really get a lot of anxiety, but that was the most anxiety I've ever had in my life. Like horrible. The worst, like just because I cared and loved those people so much and I didn't, but it was my business and I was like, I need to think about my business and my future and what I want for my business, but I don't want to hurt these people's feelings. It's such an uncomfortable conversation. Yeah. And I was also really worried about my reputation as a business owner. You can't control what people are going to say about you, and their version of events is very different to, I'm sure, what mine is. Yes. And that's fine. It's just different perspectives, but mine's reality. But mine's like, So
I think, I've been in business a long time with my other companies, and reviews are honestly frequent. And one person might have one expectation, and this has been really interesting to learn over time. And now it's like it doesn't really faze myself or my company because we get so many positive things happen. Yeah. But you'll get that one person that had an expectation and didn't feel like that was clarified well enough, even though it was on the quote or on the invoice, this thing will have a dent. This thing may have surface rust, and then it comes with surface rust, and they're like, you didn't tell me. It's like, how much more clearer could it be?
Seriously.
Because people perceive information so differently to the next person. And it's like, you know what? You have to put yourself in the position of how can I support you to understand better? And if they still aren't willing to meet you in that, it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do to support you from this here,
For sure. And I think there was something like this year has really taught me, like I was always someone that said my piece and had to say certain things. And this has really taught me that, and not just in business relationships, in every relationship now, like I don't always have to say how I'm feeling about something. I can just let things go and keep that peace within myself. And, I didn't have to, because it burnt me for a while that I was like, I'm like, well, this is what this person's done and they're going to say that I've done this and they don't like me, but I haven't done that and blah, and it fucking sent me. Up, right? Yeah, for sure. And then it got to the point where it's like, well, I know how I make people feel when I'm around them. People, like, I don't know. I really got to the point that it's like, I don't have to prove to people that I am this person. I am that person. And that when they're around me, they're going to know that I'm that person.
Yeah. Everyone's going to judge you for being on, the people in the stadium will always judge you on the field.
Yeah.
Like, they're not on the fucking field.
Yeah, exactly right.
They're not kicking the fucking goalpost. Or
for sure.
The terminology is.
Exactly. Yeah, whatever it is. The score of the post. But I know that when I'm around people, I make a conscious, it's actually not even conscious anymore, it's unconscious effort, but I hope that when I'm around someone, they leave me feeling better than when they got there. And that is what I always would like to do in every relationship with every person that I'm around. And I just think, if these people are going to go and talk shit about me to people, if those people ever get the chance to be around me, they're going to know that that's not who I fucking am.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah,
I went through similar things with different circumstances, which we've spoken about privately before, which I don't open on here very often. Yeah. I don't open on here
at all.
But I have had previous relationships that I've had to tolerate in my life and had put so much value on what said people really felt about me. And it came down to my worth. It came down to being more about me. And that's what I had to go and unlearn and relearn and change the way I did things, because it was never about them. It was always about me wanting them to like me.
For sure.
And it's like, for what purpose do I give a fuck if they do or don't? Like, that's a me problem, not them problem. And I'm placing so much external validation on them liking me and my worth on them, on people who don't fucking have a job. Like,
Yeah,
why?
seriously.
Like, for what
For
purpose?
sure,
You
for
know?
sure. See, my thing isn't like I don't not care what people think. I do care what people think because I would hate to make someone feel shit that they think, like, you know, someone just randomly doesn't fucking like me or has an issue or has this like interpretation of me from whatever, that's fine. But if I've met someone and then they like, you know, I would be like, well, I'm nice. I was nice to you. Like, you know, so that actually I genuinely do care about what people think, and I'm proud to say that because I only care about what people think, the people that know me, and it's because I respect them and love them and want to be held in a high regard in their opinion.
Yeah.
So that's where my thing is like I do care what people think, and it's not necessarily from a bad place. It's coming from a place of like, because I expect that, you know, the relationships I have with people, I respect people and I want them to feel that from me and not to be felt like shit when they're around me. So that's why I care what people think.
Yeah, I do like that. I think that's really important. One final question before we close out because
we've been going over time.
We could talk for so long.
I know.
I feel like we need to do round 2, but we'll talk about that later. What's it like being in business with your best friend, the high points or the hard points?
Good. It's really, we haven't really had... We've never have really had any issues.
If you're on Next Close Friends, however,
there's
been some Monday mornings.
For sure. But you know what? The thing is that I don't have this like
respect,
super high expectation that like this people need to be perfect and that everyone needs to be like, we've both got our own fucking lives. We're both enjoying our own fucking lives.
You both bring such good energy.
Yeah.
Together. Like, it feels like you compound
For
and
sure.
support.
We do.
Like, different strong suits.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's just so paramount when you see you two together. It brings such a good energy, which I love.
Yeah,
like,
good.
I'm obsessed.
But really, we've never, like, you know, Sek and I traveled through Europe for 6 weeks together and didn't have a single fight.
Fuck, that's crazy.
So, like, I don't fight with people in my life generally. Like,
you don't have shit people in your life.
Yeah, true. But, you know, I don't, and I'm very, like, open to say how I feel about something. And we have a relationship that we trust each other, we love each other, and it's all respect. So I would hope if anything was to ever come up that we would just have a conversation about it and move on.
Yeah, and like they say, the notion is that don't get into business with family and friends, but you guys are really pulling that apart and being like, no, actually you can, and here's evidence that it works. For sure. So for anyone listening that might have heard that before and have always resisted that, maybe that's an option for you. Maybe that's something that you could lean into. Maybe there's potential in your growth by going into business with someone that backs you,
and that you trust.
And supports you.
I don't know how I could do this business with anyone else. I couldn't do it by myself, that's for sure. And I don't know how I would do it with anyone else. Like, how do you not have a relationship with someone? Like, even if you start in business with someone that you don't know, you don't fucking know them. How could you trust them? I don't know.
Honestly, and I envy that because I'm in a business on my own, my coaching and obviously podcast business. Yes, I've got my husband who is my best friend and he's phenomenal with all the things in terms of business related stuff. But in the day in, day out, so it's just me. It's just me. And it's fucking lonely. It's really isolating. And the ideas that I bounce off, it's very different because like my ideas are for like fucking TikTok and social media and stuff like that, like all of the content and podcast episodes. Like my husband doesn't listen to the podcast because he's like, how boring. And I'm like, girls love this shit. Like, I know what women like.
I don't want my boyfriend to listen to my podcast because it's like him like reading my journal or something. Honestly.
I'd be so if you listen to it. Like Sabi would if I like, hey, this is a good one, listen to it.
Yeah.
But from the majority of the most part, he's like, do people really listen to this?
Yeah.
Do they really care about this? I'm like, yes, does.
Seriously.
Yes,
well, Matt hears me and Sek blabber fucking shit on the phone 24/7. So I'm sure like he'd be like, if he's driving in his car, the last thing he wants to do is hear more of my shit. He started listening to them in the beginning and then he stopped and I was like, thank God, because I don't know, I don't need you to hear that. I'm talking shit about men on air. You don't need to hear it.
So good. Well, thank you, Eb, so much for coming on the pod today.
Thank you.
Where can people find you if they want to know more about you?
I am Eb_K, or there is Club 94 _Katara or Club 94 _ oh wait.
I'll put the dates in the show notes,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you. I actually don't know. I always fuck this up. So but
all good.
I'm pretty fucking boring on Instagram if I'm completely honest.
No, that's okay. The Club 94 is not boring.
Club 94 is great.
We have a lot of fun.
But my personal, I'm like, don't have much to share, guys.
Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.